Hello and welcome back to Anfield Index. Yes, we are back with another late night live, but it's a bit of a positive one today. We've actually got something positive to discuss because Liverpool have picked up a 0-0 draw, not in the context of a Leeds United, not in the context of a mid-table or relegation battling or newly promoted team. We've gone to champions-elect Arsenal, top of the league, 5 points clear, and picked up a vitally important point away at the Emirates. Context is key. This was a hard-earned draw. This was a well-earned draw. And of the 10 games now unbeaten in all competitions, Inter Milan could be considered our best game, maybe Brighton. Some people will look at West Ham that far back at the beginning of the run. I think this is our best results, our best performance of the lot, because we didn't scrape it. We didn't go there and sort of half-arse it and look like we were the inferior team. We went there and we looked positive. We looked as though we were the side who were top of the league by a considerable distance. We did exactly what Dominic Szoboszlai said we would do. We went there as champions. And I might be blowing it about a proportion, and I might be looking at it as something as like we've beat them 4-5-0. It's a 0-0 draw at the end of the day, but it's a great point in the circumstances. We need to taper our expectations. We need to realize where we are. We're not top of the league. We're not battling for the title. We're in a top 4 race, and we're scraping results against teams who have been newly promoted, other teams who have only just come up from the championship. And we've gone to Arsenal and we picked up a point, a ground where a lot of teams cannot get a result. Only 2 teams have beaten Arsenal this season. We were one of them, and we've taken more points off them. And I, for one, am proud of that performance tonight. The main reason being, the biggest thing that I have said all season or in the past few weeks and months is, regardless of result, regardless who's in that team, regardless of what's going on, I want to see effort. I want to see work rate. I want to see commitment. I want to see desire. And that's exactly what we saw today. We saw defensive stability. We saw a structure in place. We saw counter-attacking football. We saw a team who actually had a plan and stuck to that plan, who grew into the match, exploited Arsenal's weaknesses. And yes, we didn't score a goal, but keep in mind, this is a team without Mohamed Salah. This is a team without Hugo Ekitike. This is a team without Alexander Isak. This is a team that was relying on Cody Gakpo through the middle, Florian Wirtz as a false 9 at point, and a right back made makeshift right winger to get us on the attack. And we created the better chances. And for my money, I think we were the better team tonight. We were the better team at the Emirates against champions-elect Arsenal. And I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. So get them in the comments and I will read them all out. I will go through all your thoughts and feelings. And we'll just sort of go through the match bit by bit. I'll get the player ratings and everything up shortly. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy with the circumstances of this result. I'm happy of the fact that we've managed to get this point. It was much needed. It was a stable performance. And that's what we've needed for a good few weeks, is just a display of something moving in the right direction, some sort of indication that as a club and everything that's going on, we're progressing. It's not faultless. There are a few flaws, and it's not as though we've not had these false dawns before. Villa, Madrid, the beginning portion of the season, Inter Milan. We've had these sort of false dawns where we thought, yes, this is going to be the thing that springboards us, but we need to take them as results individually. They are massive, and we need to take individually this performance. It's huge for us. A lot of praise going into the comments. Well-earned draw, builds team spirit and confidence. With a proper forward, we could have won it tonight. Absolutely, we lack that sort of outlet. And we're going to go through both halves shortly. But yeah, attacking outlet up top is something that we definitely missed. Definitely missed up top. We missed the focal point in attack, and Ekitike would have been brilliant to have because there were a lot of through balls going in behind, a lot of balls over the top, and we just couldn't capitalize on it. Is what it is. It's 5 a.m. in Bangkok. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good evening from us. Big time difference that. I expect the commitment if you've woke up to watch the match. That's ridiculous. Should have had a pen anyway. We should have. In my opinion, only one of those tackles was a penalty. We'll touch on that shortly. No shot on target, still passing aimlessly, slot out. Look, this has not changed a great deal of people's perspective with regards to the whole slot in out thing. There was no shot on target per se. We hit the crossbar. We had a good few chances, but this wasn't a game where we were going to go and we were going to dominate and we were going to try and pick up all 3 points and put 3 past them. This was the Etihad away last season. We knew Arsenal were going to dominate the ball in the early proceedings. We knew we were going to be the underdogs going in, so we had to play that way, and that's exactly what we did, and it worked out brilliantly. There is still issues, like I say, but there was better cohesion in midfield. There was rotation. We could see attacking triangles on both sides. There was a lot of attacking energy, and I wanted to see that. Better than expected, 100%. I thought we'd lose 2-0. I said that on Redmen yesterday, so positive. Love the shirt, Lewis. It's a good point. Thank you very much. My wonderful fiance bought me this for Christmas. It's the first Liverpool shirt I ever owned, so I'm very, very happy with it. And yeah, it's a great point, honestly. Proud of the lads, absolutely. Bradley looks out for a while. Surely the transfer window must be action. Yeah, so we'll touch on that. The Connor Bradley, Gabriel Martinelli incident, whatever you want to call it. It was just, I'm not going to swear on this channel because I don't want to do this on Anfield Index, but yeah, Martinelli, Gary Neville himself said on the commentary, he's amazed no one went over there and absolutely clattered him and took the red card. And you know what? I wouldn't have been, if anyone had done it, I would have applauded them, because Connor Bradley's gone down, knee injury, going for the ball. You can see his knee sort of jar. He jumps in the air, he drops immediately, and then Martinelli's throwing the ball at him, trying to shove him off the pitch. And he's so lucky that, in my opinion, he's lucky Curtis Jones wasn't in this team, because I think Curtis Jones would have absolutely knocked him spark. So, yeah, that whole Martinelli, utter wet wipe. I can't swear, I'm sorry, but it's ridiculous. The fact that he's got the goal to go over there and try and do it. And I get Arsenal are going for a title, but in those circumstances, football does not matter. If people are injured, people are seriously injured. And this is a result of the boy who cried wolf. This is a result of so many players going down injured for every little thing. We did it earlier on. Martinelli went down like he'd been shot because someone put their hand on his chest. It's a joke. It's the fact that so many players go down with such minor ailments or nothing at all, that when someone does actually get seriously hurt, like Connor Bradley, who had to be stretchered off, sadly again, it doesn't get believed and he gets shoved off the pitch. And that's not me making excuses for Martinelli, because it's pathetic what he did. If someone's getting treatment, regardless of whether you know it's real or not, don't go over and shove them. It's stupid, because for all he knew, he could have hurt any part of himself, and he's shoving him to get him off the pitch. Ludicrous, stupid. Deserves whatever comes his way, which will probably be nothing, because the whole system is the way it is. Defo Pen, we should go more direct sometimes. Frimpong had a couple of chances to shoot. Absolutely. Jeremy Frimpong had a good number of chances to shoot. Didn't take them. One particular in the second half, in the 64th minute. Just shoot. Go at target. Worst case scenario, it goes at Raya. It deflects out. You never know what could happen. We've seen that numerous times in the past. Just give it a go. I'm still throwing punches at the telly. Thrown more punches than Martinelli received, and that's a joke, the fact that he didn't get any. Excellent performance, absolutely missing a striker today, Liverpool, but best second half I've seen all season. Yes, it was a massive second half from us. Storming a cup of tea, exactly. His injury has come out at the right time, if there is a right time, but I bet we don't sign anyone. Someone said Canate misses the next game as well. Real problem, if that's the truth, if that's genuine. There's a real concern there defensively. Does the Barnsley game not count? I don't think it does. So yeah, that would be a real worry. I can't even remember who we got next in the league. I can't even remember off the top of my head. Is it Bournemouth? No, Burnley. Burnley's next. Burnley. I think if we had Hugo and or Mo today, we could have won. Frimpong played well. Frimpong did play very well. He was our best outlet going forward. Brilliant from him. Received the ball, and I made the argument on Redmen that I want to see him on the right wing, because when we win the ball in midfield, which we were trying to compact and overload, he's our outlet. He is speed, he is pace, he is Lightning McQueen, essentially. He's nothing but quick, and it was such a good outlet from Jeremy Frimpong tonight. It was every ball that went over the top, he was getting on the end of it. It's so refreshing to see a wing back or a full back, or however you want to phrase him, playing that way, because Trent never used to really do that. He would pick up the ball and run with it. Frimpong, you lump it, he's going to get it. It was route one, but it worked. And Jeremy Frimpong is going to get so many of those balls over the top to him, and I'm here for it, because if he can develop his crossing, if he can just improve that ever so slightly, put a bit more power into those crosses, Hugo Ekitike or Isak, whoever's in the middle, going to thrive off it. Need another striker. We're probably not going to do that, but weirder things have happened, I suppose. Really hope this performance doesn't get wasted. Positives to build on from this. Absolutely. That's the big thing we've not done in the past, is capitalize on these results. We beat Inter. We didn't really jump from there. We beat Villa and Madrid and we immediately capitulated, smashed Frankfurt 5-1 and then lost again. So we do need to build on this. There's positives to take. The FA Cup is next, which might stunt a lot of the momentum from this game, of course, but Burnley next at home. We've then got Bournemouth, and then we go into a really difficult phase of matches. So we do have to start building on momentum and getting points, especially because the top 4 race at the moment, or top 5, very, very tight. Proud of us tonight. Well done all around from the team. Kirkez is my man of the match. And you know what? I think he's mine as well, because that's not an easy job taking on Bukayo Saka. And he absolutely smashed it. Absolutely blew it out the park. He was brilliant, Kirkez. I underestimated how strong he is. He is so physically strong in a tackle, and he was commanding, throwing himself around, but he wasn't doing it in the way that we saw earlier in the season where he was rash or he was overly aggressive. He was well timed. It was thought out. He positioned himself well. He was attacking when he needed to. It felt like no runs forward were being wasted. It felt like he was exerting no extra energy unnecessarily. He played to his strengths and we played to his strengths. It was so refreshing to see. And I was worried when Kirkez was announced in the starting lineup and I saw no Curtis Jones, because I didn't think Kirkez was going to be able to venture forward as much as he was in the previous matches. Jones would drop to left back, Kirkez would go forward. He did it anyway. We were defensively secure without him at the back line, and he contributed massively. A few wayward crosses, but I thought he was great today, Kirkez. I think that's his best game in a Liverpool shirt, bar none. Really, really asserted himself and given Robertson something to think about. Why can't we put on performances like this every week? Why only big teams? Because it's slots Liverpool, unfortunately. Look, let's just enjoy this moment, because we never know when this is going to come around again at the moment, this current state of time. Let's just enjoy it for what it is. We can't play like this every week, and we've proven that. But a 0-0 at Arsenal now is viewed as a victory, because that's the circumstances we find ourselves in. Let's just enjoy it. We might struggle against Burnley. We could struggle against Barnsley. I don't know. But great result. Let's just enjoy it. I'm Slot Out, but today I'm really proud. This is an Arsenal team who were flying, and we were compact and fluid if only we had Ekitike. That seems to be the big talking point, is there was no focal point up top. And it was, like you say, it was sorely missing. We didn't have an outlet, particularly in that first half. Wirtz was our highest up player, debatably at points, Frimpong. And it didn't work in the first half, but we ground it out. We had that nice little spell of play in the 22nd minute where Bradley hit the bar, which was so unfortunate. Almost a carbon copy of Harry Wilson's effort against us literally last week. And yeah, it's a shame that we couldn't pick up the goal. It's a shame that we couldn't do more with it, but it is what it is. We did a great job, and I was nervous about us giving them the ball in the first half. I tweeted it, I said it, I did all sorts with it, and I still am worried about it going forward. But for this game, for that half, worked out brilliantly. Kirkez was, fire. Oh, that's not that. It's fire. Don't know. But yeah, that's that. One shot on target. Mac played well. Bradley played well. And I assume that's Kirkez. Colonel's match player. Yeah, McAllister as well had a great game. I did a TikTok on it saying that's his biggest. He needs to perform. This has to be McAllister's game, and he did exactly that. So I'm made up that he put in the performance he did. I might be blowing this out of proportion, the whole thing, but we need to enjoy it, as I've said already. Defended brilliantly. Bit more up front would have won the game, 100%. I think we're still not shooting, regardless where the ball is, in or out the box. We need to stop thinking we need to walk the ball in the net. Yeah, and I think that sort of showed, particularly in that second half. Szoboszlai started trying to take pot shots from distance. There was a few times where players could have tried to square it. Frimpong, the most noticeable. I think that's just the way we're going to always play under Slot, unfortunately. And without that striker, without that person in the box or a late runner into the box, we're going to see more of that. The stressful situations. Arsenal suffered from it a lot today. Let's not make any sort of doubts about that. Arsenal had a multitude of occasions similar to us where the ball would go far to the byline. They would cross it into the box. There was no one there, or there was a Liverpool player. Arsenal suffered today from the same thing that we've suffered from the past few matches. You've tried to be more defensively compact, more secure at the back, but you've sacrificed your attacking threat for it. Arsenal got nervy, went back to what they know best, just defensive structure, not allowing us any time on the ball in our attacking third, or trying not to let us have any of the ball at the sacrifice of their attacking threat. That's why Gyökeres only had one touch of the ball in the second half before he was substituted off. They suffered from what we've been suffering from. Balls into the box, no one there. It just turned into a stalemate, but we were more creative, more direct, and we were more happy to try and play those risky balls that Arsenal weren't. And I've been missing that for weeks and months, that creative spark, that sort of risk to have a go and try and put a ball in behind. Against Fulham, Jones did it, and everyone looked stunned. Gakpo is the only player who didn't, and he put it wide, but no player around him knew how to react in that situation because we're not used to doing it. Tonight, we saw more of it. Frimpong was alert to them. Kerkez, the same. Gakpo, the same. Even Szoboszlai, he was trying to get onto those balls. Bradley as well was brilliant at it. So far better in that sense. It was far, far better in an attacking sense. Arsenal play boring football like us, and they are way out top. Yes, but they've got the multitude of players to do it. Martinelli, Eze, don't want to say Gyökeres, but Saka, Trossard, Zubimendi, Ødegaard, Rice, all these players, a lot of options, which we don't have. And I think that says more credit to us is the fact that our bench, you look at our bench and we had two goalkeepers on it. You had Trey Nioni on it, Rio Ngamoa, Federico Chiesa, Robertson, Jones. No disrespect to any of these players, but then you look at Arsenal's bench and they've got Madueke, they've got Eze, they've got Miles Lewis-Skelly on the bench. They've got so many different options, and we were able to grind this out without making a substitute, by the way. That's such a huge compliment to Liverpool in this match, is the fact that we didn't make a single substitution and we were able to perform that way for 90 minutes. It wasn't perfect, again, and there will be people saying, look, you're blowing this out of proportion. 100% I might be, but context is key. We played the same team 90 minutes, and it didn't look as though there was a point, maybe the last minute or two, where there wasn't effort going in. And that's what we've missed. That's what we've missed for weeks and weeks and months, and all season, arguably, apart from maybe the first 7 or 8 matches where we were getting those late winners, was effort and work rate. If we'd had the effort tonight, if we'd have played like tonight, like we did if we'd have played at the Etihad like we did tonight, it could have been a completely different story, because there was such a lack of effort there, and it just felt like we rolled over. Tonight, we showed, look, we're not going anywhere. We're going to have a go at this, and it came out brilliantly. Arsenal ended up being the team who looked nervous to concede, not us, and that's a huge compliment when we had no one on the bench to bring on, really of substance other than Jones and Chiesa, and we made it work. Phenomenal performance. There's a lot of comments coming in. I'm going to sort of skim through them. Bradley out for the season? I hope not. God, I hope not. We didn't score against the best defense in the league. So what? We were great start to finish, weathered the storm, then bossed the second half. Brilliant performance, great result. Again, context is key. Best defense in Europe. Didn't score against them. Few teams can. And we still weathered the storm. It wasn't about us breaking them down. We said to Arsenal, right, have a go. Try and break us down. When we realised they couldn't, we grew in confidence, and we took the match to them, and we created good chances. We stretched them, pulled them out of position, pulled them forward, exploited the space in behind. And if we had that striker, would have been a very, very different story. Yeah, Kirkus did well, plus Verts went down in box. Was it a pen? I seen them given. So we'll touch on the penalty decisions. The first one, the Jeremy Frimpong one from, was it Trossard? I'm trying to remember the Arsenal players. No, Trossard was the second one. Whoever it was, the sort of tackle on Frimpong's ankle. That one for me, I don't think is. I think that's very much the foot's there. They just collide. He does sort of take out Frimpong's foot ever so slightly, but I think it's very minimal in terms of, that can happen in any match. Maybe I'm being a bit light on it, but I just think when you see that and then you see the Trossard challenge later on Verts, which that is 100% a penalty because he doesn't go for the ball. The ball's past him already. He steps in front of Verts, takes him down. That one is a penalty. The Frimpong one, debatable. Some people will say yes, some people say no. I lean more to the no side. Personally, I think they got that correct. But the second one, 100% a penalty. There's no rationale for him putting his body in the way in the manner of which he does, because he doesn't try and step in front of him and block him like you see defenders doing when they're trying to get the ball out of play. He goes into him, directly into his side, takes him out, and nothing. And VAR was asleep, of course, because it always is in these matches. Why wouldn't it be? It was for Arsenal. It was for us. It just might as well not exist in those circumstances. Good process. But yeah, first one, not for me. Second one is. Let me know what you think in the comments. Frimpong, maybe the Jacob Murphy profile player we've been looking for. That is a comparison I never thought I'd hear. But yeah, he's something different. He's direct. And I wanted that from a winger. It's what Luis Diaz was for us. He got the ball and he was very direct, and he wanted to beat people and take them on and try and get the ball to someone in the box or square it. That's Frimpong. It's something different. And I said a few weeks ago, you can't have every player play the same way, the same style. You need difference. You need players who can give you something different, a different outlet, a creative spark that others in the team don't. Frimpong is that. He's quick, he's fast, he's quick and fast. He's quick, he's direct. He wants to beat people. He wants to put the ball out wide and go round people. He can get onto long balls. He's an outlet in a very different way to a Gakpo, Chiesa, even an Ekitike, even an Isak or a Salah. He doesn't want to hold the ball up. He wants to run because that's his strength. And we play to his strengths. We see results like we've seen in the past few matches. 3 assists in 4 games, and tonight, best attacking outlet we had. So more of that, please. Yeah, Kirk my man of the match. He stopped everything Saka tried. Did struggle a bit at points in the first half, but I think everyone did. McAllister did, he did, Szoboszlai did. Everyone struggled with Saka. He's just that caliber of player, but I think Kirk did a great job. And even when Madueke came on, got past him the first time, never did it again. And it's a credit to Kirk that he is adapting. He's being aggressive but not stupid like we saw earlier in the season against Everton or Bournemouth or Newcastle. He's not rash in that regard. He's learning, he's adapting, good on the attack, good defensively, stayed in his structure, which is something he's been critiqued for a lot this season. Did a great job, I think. Gakpo for a 6'4" guy is so weak. He is. Big issue there with Gakpo with regards to the way that he wants to play. We're still not good enough. Sorry, one game doesn't make a difference. No, it doesn't make a difference. But like I've said before a few times, context is key. Take this result for what it is. Positive result. Does it fix every problem? No. There were still moments of complacency in the middle of the pitch, particularly in the first half. There was no attacking threat in the first half, which was the game plan, yes. But I think even if we tried, we couldn't have done it because there was no one up top. And yeah, there was a few moments when we did get to the final third where we sort of didn't know what to do with it, and there's a problem there. But as a display against the champions, as a defensive display, as a unit, it's a clean sheet. It's away at the Emirates, a ground which we can sort of hit or miss over the years, and it's better than a loss. That's the point we are this season. We need to consider that we're not in the title race, as I've said. We're not pushing for first. Taken as a whole, this is a positive result given everything going on around us. Frimpong just needs to look up before crossing the ball. He just tries to pull it back all the time, but gets in great positions. Yeah, I can see that. He hasn't got that sort of Trent vibe where he doesn't have to look up. A few players do, of course, but yeah. Frimpong's not a natural attacker. He's not, but that's again, more credit to him for the fact that he's not, but he's able to do what he's doing. He's actually being an outlet for us and offering us something different. I like it. All-round great team performance to a man. Slot got everything right, but yeah, we had a striker-shaped hole in the pitch, which is a shame because Hugo would have won this game for us. Yep, if we had no Gakpo and an Ekitike in that team instead, yeah. Didn't have attacking threat, just didn't make enough. Did have attacking threat, just didn't make enough of it. I can see that perspective as well, perhaps. From being champions to celebrating a draw, yes. Is the answer to that one. Yes, from being champions to celebrating a draw, I will take it over a loss to Galatasaray or Chelsea or United or Nottingham Forest or City or anything like that. I will take a draw away at Arsenal 100%. It's not where I want to be. I want us winning the league. I want us winning the Champions League. I want us winning every trophy and winning every match. Of course I do. But where we are right now, I will take this draw. It's where we are and we will enjoy it. Yeah, we've been missing that ball in behind because we've been playing against teams that don't leave space behind. When they do, we capitalise like vertical. Fulham, Gakpo ball to Frimpong today, etc. Yep, Arne Slot said to himself a multitude of times. Well, it's our own fault not having a better bench. We had the money to do so. But then we've also got no Salah because he's away at AFCON. Isak is injured. Now Bradley is injured. We got rid of Elliott. We got rid of Diaz. We spent big money. Yes, but consider the players that we brought in. Kerkez and Frimpong were both playing today. Vert started today. Ekitike injured, Isak injured. That's the big players. You also have Mamadashvili, new signing, on the bench. Woodman on the bench, if you count that. Leone's injured. And we brought in players to replace players. Diaz left, Nunez left, Jota left, Trent left. So, yes, we've brought in a lot of players, but it's not like we've added on top. We've replaced and then added a little bit more, and then there's been injuries. So that's why we don't have the bench that Arsenal do. Should have put Rio on second half. Look, with the benefit of hindsight, I'm happy to say that we didn't change anything. Probably best that we didn't. Rio could have given us something different, but then in the same regard, it could have went very wrong. Because if we were to go back and sit back and defend, I would rather Gakpo doing that than a Rio Ingamoa. There was no guarantee that that Arsenal weren't going to get the ball. We just got very fortunate that play kept getting broken up and we kept giving the ball back to them and did nothing to it. Say if they had the ball for a 10-minute stint, I would rather have Gakpo back there, 6'4", not the best defender, of course, but I'd rather him than an Ingamoa who's going to get bullied in the air and probably on the ground. He's a great outlet, of course, but I think that was the sort of the thought process of why he didn't really get a game on. I want Ingamoa to get game time, don't get me wrong, but maybe wasn't the right time to do it for him. I can't understand how Rio was not given 10 minutes. Again, I think that's the only thing I can sort of potentially, understand is just that defensive aspect. There was no guarantee we were going to get more of the ball. There was no guarantee that we were going to constantly be on the attack. We could have been under it for a bit. Arsenal could have pushed forward. They brought Eze on. They brought on Madueke. If we were to sit back and try and put 10 men behind the ball, 11 men behind the ball, however you want to phrase it, a sort of trying to weather the storm in those late minutes of the game, which we probably would have been doing had Bradley not got injured, sad to say. I would rather a Gakpo back there than an Ingamoa. I think that just makes more sense than trusting the young lad to just do a defensive job when he's only just learning the game himself. At least Gakpo's got a sense of the sort of defensive responsibilities. Like Lou said, context, to draw away to the top team in great form, and we're not. Only kept the clean sheet. We barely allowed them to have a single shot second half. Yeah, I'll celebrate that. Exactly. That's the big thing. It's not a result I want to see. I want us winning every game. But where we are right now, it's something to look at with a bit of a positive mindset. It's something to look at and think, right, it's away, Emirates, draw. Let's be honest, Arsenal are probably going to win the league. This draw is not going to magically make City click into gear and Arsenal suddenly drop off. It's not. They've got too many players, too much going on around for that to happen. It's just, yeah. But the big thing is we frustrated them today. And I will take positivity from that because we are the team who have been stifled in attack, haven't been able to create, haven't been able to do anything substantial. We stifled the eventual champions, top of the league Arsenal, with Eze, Martinelli, Gyökeres, Saka, Trossard, Rice, Ødegaard, Zubimendi, Merino, all these players. They couldn't break us down. And I like that change of pace, that we are the team that could not be broken, as opposed to the entirety of the rest of the season where we have been the strugglers. I thought my laptop was going to die on them, but no. But yeah, look, it was a great result in that regard. Happy with it. 0-0 draw. Did I think it was going to go away? No, I thought we were going to get absolutely battered, to be honest. I thought it was going to be 2-0, 3-0, something along those lines. I just didn't have faith in us sitting back and defending. And I put a tweet out saying, look, we can't sit back. We can't defend. We've got to get at them, kill the atmosphere. We did that in the second half. And in the first half, we did what I didn't want us to do, which was sit back, be compact and defend, because I thought Arsenal would pick us off. And to be fair, they got a good number of chances and probably should have scored, but they had Gyökeres up front who can't do anything at the moment, can't kick a ball to save his life. So I saw what I didn't want and what I did want, and both things worked brilliantly. We weathered the storm, took the sting out of the atmosphere. We made the Emirates silent. When that match ended, there was crickets chirping, and that's huge because we've not been able to do that all season. We've not been able to build an atmosphere or take the sting out of an atmosphere all season. There's few occasions I can think of where we've done it. Maybe Frankfurt's one. Early in the season, we were scraping wins, so that didn't really happen. This was one where we controlled the game and just made the Emirates silent, and that's a big, big win for us at this point. And it's a defeatist mentality because I want us going for the league, but we're not going for the league now. We're going for top four. It's important that we understand that, and to pick up this result, a nice clean sheet. There was no bad performances. If the Bradley injury hadn't have happened, I'd be even happier. But that, if it's a knee injury, he's going to be out for months, debatably. It could carry over into next season, even if it's like a really severe one, like we're seeing with Leone, like we saw with Van Dijk and numerous players in the past. So I'm hoping it's not. Is it going to make us dip into the market? Probably not. Although I think if we're doing this, Frimpong is best when he's as a winger. He's going to get pushed to right back now. You've then got Gomez, who can't cover centre back and right back. And you've got Leone out for a long time. Konate's contract's running out. You're going to need to bring someone in. Gahey needs to happen now. That's a deal that has to get done because you can't rely on Gomez to be backup right back and backup centre back. It's not going to happen because he can't even play as a backup centre back because he gets injured 9 times out of 10. You've got to go out and be proactive now in the market, given the Bradley injury, given the Leone injury, given the fact that they won't come back from those injuries until potentially, and more than likely, Konate's departure. So you're going to be left with Van Dijk and Frimpong to cover right back and centre back. That can't happen. Calvin Ramsey as well. That cannot happen. We've got to go out there and we've got to bring someone. Bradley needs replacing anyway, made of glass like Gomez. Cannot rely on either. Bradley has a lot of good qualities as a player. He has absolutely stolen the show against Madrid. He has stolen the show against, well, Arsenal tonight. He's done it against Chelsea in the past, did it against Arsenal in the FA Cup a couple of years ago against Martinelli. He has good games and he has bad games, but I do like Bradley. I think in an attacking sense, what he offers is he's very good inverting. He's very good going through the middle. He's a brick defensively. He will take on anyone, but like you said, it's injuries. It's too many injury concerns. And we knew this going into the season. We knew this when he signed the long-term deal at the start of the season, or start of last season, even when Trent was going to be leaving. We knew that happened. We knew that he's an injury-prone player, and we didn't really address it then. Frimpong is now pushed higher up the pitch. Now, because Bradley's injured, we're losing that attacking outlet in Frimpong. He's going to have to come further back. And yeah, we're very weak on that right side of the pitch now because there's no Salah. He's away at AFCON, doing very well. Chiesa is not going to play. Frimpong is going to have to go to right back. Bradley is still injured. Well, Bradley is injured now. So we will see the extent of what happened to Bradley. It may not be as bad as we think it is. I'm hoping it's not. But in the same breath, it did look nasty. And then Martinelli comes over. He is. Shoves him out. Ridiculous. And just like that, all the Slot out of silence, but they'll be back. Look, this has not changed my opinion on Slot. I still do not think he is good enough to manage this team. I still think that this 10-game unbeaten run up until this point has been poor. We drew 3 times against newly promoted teams, scraped against bottom of the league Wolves, who are battling to beat Derby County's record. This is not me saying that Slot is suddenly the fix, but you can pick up good results as a manager. Worse managers have had better results against teams. Sam Allardyce beat Chelsea 5-2 when he was at West Brom. Doesn't mean that he's suddenly the magic man to fix them. This can happen. But we were solid today, and we did it against Inter Milan. We did it against Madrid, Villa. We do it in these games. We did it against Arsenal earlier in the season, away at St. James's Park. We pick up these results. So, yeah, it's a result that's going to make people think, right, there's something to build off of. And I'm hoping that it is a result that we can build from, and I'm hoping that it can lead us on to bigger and better things, because it's a big draw for us. I'm happy, still in the top 4 race. We didn't get beat by Arsenal. That's the land that we fall on. And yeah, but what do you guys think? In the comments down below, are you happy with this result? Are you disappointed with this result? And like Hustlebone says, so you're not slot out, then I'm out. Lol, peace. You'll never walk alone. I like it. But yeah, let me know what you think. Was this a good result? Bad result? Happy with the performance? poor but disappointed in the performance. Who was your man of the match? What do you think? Make sure to click like and subscribe as well, and head over to AnfieldIndex.com. They got all the latest news and updates there based around Liverpool, and head over to the Substacks on the bottom of the screen now, www.itwasalwaysliverpool.com. Constant articles coming out there. If you want to see more of myself, if you want to see more of Dave, if you want to see more of Jack, everyone, make sure to click like and subscribe. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0, away at the Emirates. Big result. Next one's Barnsley in the FA Cup, just to stunt a bit of that momentum built. But yeah,